Alright everyone, let us talk about a very powerful and very important concept of C++, or you can say any programming, that is dynamic memory allocation. That means we are going to claim the memory whenever it is required, and once again not in a static manner, not in a fixed manner. Whatever the content, whatever the size we require, only that much of size we are going to get. Okay, that is a dynamic memory allocation. In case of C++, we are going to do it with the help of the operators new and delete. But in case of C language, there were the functions for the same task. For example, there was the function malloc, calloc, realloc, and to release the content, a function we were using that was free. Okay, in case of C++, like we just talked about, two operators, there is new to allocate the memory and delete to release the content. So first thing is, primary thing is, we have to be familiar with the syntax. So let us take an example of the syntax. Whatever the memory we are going to claim, we are going to require, compiler is going to allocate a block and the starting address of that block will be given back to us. In case over here we want to claim the memory block to store 7 characters. Okay. So the syntax would be like 7, that would be the total number of values we are going to store. What is going to be the type of the values? There is a character. In short, we are saying is we need a block to store 7 characters, and that job is going to be done by new. That means a block will be allocated and the starting address of that block will be thrown back, which is going to be stored right over here, a pointer to string defined as star nm. Okay, these are just 2 more examples. Fine. Definitely to implement these 2 examples, we have to definitely convert the data type of star nm. That means we have to convert name into integer pointer, we have to convert name into float pointer, then and then it can be done. The only difference is in the first example over here we are going to get a memory block of size 7. If it is an integer, if we are going to store 7 integer values, we are going to require a block of 14 bytes, and in case of a float, one block of 28 bytes will be allocated. Now delete, another operator. The function of delete is very easy. You just need to delete a particular pointer. That means that pointer will no longer be pointing at the same address block, and that is how it is freed. That is how it is going to be released. Okay, now let us go for the program. Okay, this particular program is headed as dynamic constructor or constructors with new and delete. If you remember one particular rule from the properties of constructor, that was constructors make implicit calls to new and delete. That means we are not manually asking a constructor to assign the memory, or we are not asking destructor to release the memory. It is a by default task. The compiler is going to take care of that, and that is why we had mentioned that it is a implicit calls. Okay, if you just take a look at the structure of the class, it would be like we are having a class called string. These 2 variables are defined in the private section. In the public section, we are having 2 different constructors. Out of them, first one, there is a default constructor which is receiving no argument. Another one, it is a parameterized constructor and it is expecting one pointer to character as an argument. 2 member functions. First one, there is a display member function. Fine. Another noteworthy part, that is the member function join, which is expecting 2 objects of the same class. To be precise, $A and $B, these are going to be the addresses of the objects which we had just passed. Remember the concept of call by reference method. Alright, we'll get back to these functions and the constructor definitions, executions later on. But first of all, let us execute the sequence. Let us execute the codings from the main function. Okay, whatever the coding we are going to execute, we are going to see it in this window. In this image is the exact replica of whatever is going to take place. For example, in the first line, we are going to create a string Joseph. That means compiler itself is going to allow 6 bytes followed by a null character in the buffer area, in the RAM section, and the pointer will be pointing, star f pointer will be pointing at the starting of this Joseph string. So just like this over here, just take a look at the cursor. Compiler has allotted a block. This block is containing Joseph string, and let us consider the starting address of that block is 100, which is going to be pointed by star f, pointer f. Definitely the pointers are always hexadecimal values, fine, but still for the sake of the understanding, we had made use of the pointers as a sequence numbers or as a decimal numbers. Okay everyone, if you just observe here, that is going to be the creation of first object nm1. Alright, for example, this one nm1. The moment we create an object nm1, constructor is going to be called. This time we are making the address of Joseph string as an argument. The address of string Joseph is going to be passed as an argument. So where is it going to be received? In the second constructor, parameterized constructor. So over here, for name1 object, second constructor is getting called star s of this constructor definition, star s. That means the pointer also will start pointing at the same location, star f, because if you remember, we had passed the address. Pointer f is nothing but the address. That means we had passed the address. The same address is going to be pointed by star s over here. So star s will start pointing at the same location of Joseph. Okay, now string length. Okay, this particular part means we are supposed to find the length of the string which is getting stored at the location 100. Clear? The content of location 100 is going to be valued. How many alphabets, how many characters? Okay, the number would be 6. That value 6 is getting stored in length. Once again, you have to remember the object which made a call to this constructor, we are talking about the length variable of that object only. That means inside name1 object, we are supposed to put the value 6 in the length variable. Then comes the turn of memory size allocation. Okay, new is going to assign us a memory block, and what will be the size of the memory block? Length plus 1 and 4 storing the character values. That means a new block of size 6 plus 1, that is 7. A new block of 7 size is getting created, and the starting address of that block is getting stored in name, just like this. Is it clear? Okay, one last statement. The content of string copy, what is going to do? Is going to copy the content from one pointer location to another pointer location. Let us simplify that. We are talking about s and nm, which are eventually both the pointers. That means the content of 100 is getting stored into 2000. So that is how Joseph is going to be copied into 2000. Clear? So that is the end of the constructor. Okay, so where is we are supposed to move? Second object, the creation of second object. Let us think. Let us consider this one as a second object, name2. Once again, we are passing the entire string Louis as an argument. So compiler, what is going to do? It is going to put that string Louis in some buffer area, just like this, right? Let us assume the starting location of that string is 200. Okay, so 200 address is going to be thrown, because we are talking about parameterized constructor. That means the constructor star s will be pointing at the address 200, and the same practice is going to be taking place. That means we are supposed to find a length of the string which is being stored at location 200. Is it clear? So what is the content of 200 address? That is Louis. So that is the string of length 5. So 5 is getting stored in length. You must be wondering where exactly length. Okay, name2 object, because name2 object has made a call to this constructor. So the length variable of name2 object, that's exactly where we are supposed to store 5. Okay, once again, memory allocation, dynamic memory allocation using new. We are supposed to execute the statement in a reverse manner from right to left. That would be easy. That would be very comfortable for you. Okay, first of all, we are asking for a size 5 plus 1, 1 for null character. Okay. So, we are supposed to get a block to store 6 characters. So, that is how compiler has assigned us a block. Okay. The starting address of this block is going to be assigned into name. Is it done? A new block is created and the starting address of that block is assigned to nm. Last part, the content of one pointer will be stored into content of another pointer. Star s, that is 200. The content of 200 will be copied into 3000, just like shown in the picture. Exactly, Louis is getting copied from 200 into address location 3000. Once again, we are done with the second constructor. Okay, let us talk about the third object, that is nm3. For the sake of comfort, I am just going to consider the string up to here, that is lang, all right, to make you go through the content very perfectly. All right, so once again, the creation of the third object with the name nm3. This time, as an argument, we are passing the string lang. Once again, we are having options. Which one out of the two constructors is going to be called? The choice is second. So, star s will be pointing at the starting location of lang. Like you know, lang will be assigned a memory space by the compiler in some buffer area. Let us say in 300. Okay. Okay. So, star s for object nm3 is pointing to the location 300. You know the rest of the story. We are supposed to find the length of the string which is being stored at the location 300. We are talking about the same string, that is lang. Okay. The length must be stored in len variable. No wondering which object? nm3, because this object has made a call to the constructor. So, 4 over here, right? We are talking about lang, a string of 4 characters. Okay, memory allocation once again. Now you are familiar with that, from right to left, from reverse to front. Okay, we want to store 4 characters. So, compiler is going to create a new block to store 4 characters and assign its starting address to star nm, just like that. Easy part, string copy. Okay, the content of 300 is going to be copied into 6000. Easy. The content of 300 is going to be stored into 6000, and that is how nm3 object is also initialized. Okay, what do we have next? We have 2 more objects, s1 and s2. Okay, this time we are making a call to the constructors and we are not passing any values. That means for s1 and for s2, both these objects, default constructor is going to be called. Okay, just take a look at the definition of the default constructor. What is actually being done in default constructor? Okay, length will be assigned to 0. So, for both the objects, for example s1 and s2 over here, just imagine that the initial value is over here is 0, initial value of s2 is 0. Okay, fine. Length is initialized with 0 for s1 and s2 both. Okay, later on we are creating a new block. Okay, there is a typing mistake, there is a correction. We are supposed to write star nm instead of this, the whole full string. Okay, so make a correction, you use nm only. Okay, so new block will be assigned of size 1, because the value of length is 0 this time, the value of length is 0 this time. Okay, so block of 1 byte, the block of 1 byte will be allocated for s1 and for s2, just like this, s1 and s2. Okay, but we are not initializing anything into it. The block is created, but there is no value inside the block. That means both the blocks, for s1 wherever nm is pointing, for s2 wherever the nm2 is pointing, both the blocks are filled with garbage values. Okay, now main function. Now this part is going to be very crucial, very important, and you can say the core of the entire program. Everyone, first let me give you a brief about this line. Join function is going to be called. S1 object is the one who is making a call to the join function. 2 objects are getting passed as an argument. There is nm1 and nm2. This is nm1. This is nm2. Both these objects are getting passed as an argument. And by the way, don't forget, the object who has made a call to the object, to this function, right? That is S1. S1 has made a call, two objects are being passed as an arguments. Okay. But once again, call by reference, remember the call by reference. That means over here in the definition of join nm1, the address of nm1 is going to be pointed by ampersand a, and just like that the second object nm2, the starting address of this object is getting pointed by ampersand b. Okay, once again, do not forget a is actually nm1 and b is actually nm2. Okay, so this time a dot len plus b dot len, a dot len, that means a, where is it pointing? nm1. All right, remember this is nm1. We are talking about a, that means a is a pointer pointing to the address of nm1. Okay, that means indirectly we are referring this object nm1. Once again, inside that this particular variable length, that means simplify 6 over here, just like that. B dot len, b is a pointer, where is it pointing? nm2, second object. And once again inside this object, where exactly? Length, so that will be simplified to value 5. So here 6 plus 5, that means 11 is going to be stored. Now where exactly this value is going to be stored? 11. Where exactly we are supposed to store? Remember who has made a call to the function, that is S1. S1 has made a call, that means length of S1 is getting referred. Just take a look at this font in red. Fine, S1 is the one who has made a call, that means 11 is going to be stored in the length variable of S1. That is one part. Okay, delete nm. We are still referring S1 itself. Fine, S1 itself. Okay, that is why this is striking out. We are supposed to delete it. So initially name was pointing to this block of size 1. Now we had deleted it. Now we want to make it point to somewhere else. Where? Okay, you can see this reference. We want to get a new block of size 12 to store character values, just like this, and new block is getting printed. New block is going to be pointed by star nm. Next part, now you can say string copy and string concat, but let me give you the simplification. We want to store a dot nm. A, which object? This one. A is pointing to nm1. nm1, where exactly it is pointing to? Joseph. The content of 2000, the content of 2000 must be copied into star nm. In short, in simple words, the content of 2000 into 77. All right, the content of 2000 into block 77. So Joseph is going to be copied over there. Now next operation, that is string concat. We are supposed to add, we are supposed to merge. Okay, from where we are going to get the reference? B dot nm. B, where exactly it is pointing to? It is pointing to object nm2. B, it is pointing to nm2. Okay, this is nm2 and this is object. Out of this object we are talking about star nm, that means 3000. All right, so content of 3000 must be added into 77. So Louis is going to be added along with Joseph. So that is how the block is going to be created. This is one function call, join function, first time. Okay, one more time, we had made a call to the function join. This time, just take a look at this time and remember also, who is the object who has made a call to the join function? S2 object. S2 object has made call to the join function. And the arguments, first argument S1. So A will be pointing to S1. All right, now S1 is ready. S1 object is now initialized, is now with actual values. So A will start pointing at S1 object. And what is the second argument? There is nm3. Okay, this is nm3. So A will be pointing over here and B will be pointing nm3 for your reference. Okay, so we are supposed to remember this part is S1 and the second part is nm3. Okay, a dot length a, what is actually, we are supposed to refer 11 because a is nothing but S1 object and we are supposed to refer the length of that object, that is 11. B, nm3, what is the value of length there, that is 4. Okay, so we want to add 11 and 4 and store the answer into length. Once again, you must not be wondering which particular location we are talking about. The object who has made a call this time, we are referring the length variable of that particular object only, that means S2. See, 11 plus 4, that is 15, is going to be stored in length, exactly 15. Alright, initially the value was 0, initial value that was 0. Okay, now delete nm. Once again, star nm previously was pointing to this block of one size with garbage values inside it, alright, because of the default constructor then. Okay, this time what we just made, we had striked out. Fine, that means star nm of S2 is no longer pointing to the same location. That block is totally out of the picture now. Okay, we want a new block. Once again, what will be the size? What should be the length of that new block? That is 15 plus 1. The newly created block will be of size 16 to store character values and the starting address will be assigned to star nm. Over here, S2 object is having star nm pointer and this is the newly created block which is going to be pointed by star nm of S2, remember. Now string copy, now we are supposed to content the copy, right? Okay, a dot nm, who is a this time? S1. Okay, S1 we are talking about, we are referring S1 object and nm right here. Where is it pointing to? To the memory location 77. In short, in the simplified manner, we want the content of 77 to be copied into 777. One more time, the content of 77 will be copied into 777. That is actually the thing. So Joseph and Louis are getting copied into newly created block. One last line, one last part, and that is string concat, merging, addition part. Okay, once again go for the simplification. From where? B dot nm, who is B this time? nm3. Okay, this is nm3 and this is name and it is pointing to memory location 6000. So the content of 6000 must be added, must be concatenated into 777. So this block will be now containing the value Joseph, Louis and length all together. And one last part, we are supposed to print all the values, making call to the display function. Okay, hopefully that was the most easiest manner in which the same explanation was given. Go through it once again.